So hi, introduce about the master plan first. So the first one is the market, and the second one is the agriculture area, and the third one is the park of observatory of there and jetty as well. And here is the crematorium, and here is the haven. So later on it will be elaborated at the different parts of drawings. So here's the parking lot, and because of different races, so being the west side is the Hinduisms and those kind of Indians, and the south side is the Malays, and the north side is the Chinese. So when I created this kind of circulation, is about uh, being being centralized within this kind of islands. So this own micro island, they get the access from here, there, and there. So it's easy access from the local community. So it's actually based on this kind of circular circulation as well, because of the numbers. Because the heavy religious community, we I research on those kind of numbers, the lucky numbers of them, the 108, which is got elaborated on project 2. So it will be show on how the things placements on. So here is the crematorium, all those kind of body storage, and here are the observatories, and here's the agriculture and all, how they place it to make it more uh, have that kind of symbiosis relationships. So moving first is this one is the market. So the market sections. So the market is actually selling all this kind of merchandise, such as those kind of daily needs. So for this part is for those daily needs. This would be the wet market, and this will be the dry market, as the reference from the Tanjung Tualan Pasar Raya. So they had this kind of same system as well. And this is the models that I did for the joystick sellings part, which is actually right located at this area. So when you look at this drawing, it's actually the place is actually right behind this kind of 6 foot waist row house. So it actually looks like the so when they sell the joysticks and all, they because the joysticks is actually quite well located right here. So when they get the circulated from the agriculture, which is they selling, which is harvesting just kind of agar wood and lemongrass and all those kind of other herbs. So when they get done by the harvesting and cultivating and all, they get to transport to here. So it's the well circulated marketplace. So when they done the market circulating, they get to explore here, because since I mentioned all those kind of tin dredge is gonna be dismantled for the light gauge metal. So I'm actually not gonna to leave the roof part of the tin dredge. So it's gonna be open air kind of explorations for them. So it's gonna be here for those kind of uh, well circulated park, and here will be the observatory or others kind of jetties if needed. And later on it will be slowly circulated to crematorium, because when we go to crematorium we actually have to pay the respect to this kind of the dead. We don't really straight park right beside of them. Maybe we just drop off the dead bodies, because for the storage maybe they have to burn it for the other days. So they actually really have to like travel from the car park here just to walk out to this kind of crematorium to pay the respect, you know. So when they get past of the agriculture, there will be the sense of incense of joysticks and those kind of agar woods and the incense oil. So it may help them to calm their stress mode and all. So after this kind of things is another kind of relaxations kind of method for them before facing the loved one deaths. So the other one, so the last part of it will be the haven, which is number 5. It's just right besides the crematorium to give them another sort of comfort. So when we look at the crematorium, uh, so it may look like it or not. So this is where they're gonna have their body placement before saying goodbyes. They have to place the flowers, pay respect, and this is the go in. So this one is the mechanisms of them how to cremate the bodies. So it's not like gonna be used at the furnace or summer, so it can be reducing the kind of environmental impact. And here's the maybe those kind of spatial arrangements, those kind of spatial experience of how them get in, and yeah, and this is gonna be all those kind of steel structures to let the victims of the death to let them feel those kind of coldness, and later on you will be facing this kind of warmness, such as the haven. It will be built around with using stone and bricks. And so for the layout for the crematorium, here's the entrance of the crematorium, which is right here. They're gonna have to take up all the stairs, such as those kind of classical architectures, the Greek architectures for the atoms. And here's the body storage, where they get to have the kind of the curators of them to place the bodies, you know. So here's the four. There's actually 4 different kind of furnace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's actually 6 furnaces. So when they get in from here, this is actually the whole clear space for them. And why I make up this kind of cross is actually it's like another kind of way of segregate them. So if you like have to experience those kind of different corners, you may find different people's standing there, maybe laying there, crouching there, crying, maybe having their own different way of interpret their emotion and all. So there will be a lot this kind of crosses to let them express their feelings, this kind of little corners for them. And you may notice there's stairs to there. There's this kind of linear stairs. You can walk up to here to the second floor, which is 5,000 kind of meters high. So by looking at this, when you walk up to this second floor, you can have this kind of all those kind of T junctions, or no, all these kind of crosses, roads, all these kind of voids indicates the kind of urns, those ash urns where they place it, and here's they actually have the kind of different second mezzanine floor for to view the process of them cremate the bodies. So for the second part of it, the complete layout for the agriculture. So this is the entrance of it for those everybody's. For this is a public ingress. So when they get in, there will be another crisscross, just as like this one. So you may be having this kind of symbiosis relationships. So this one is actually this kind of that kind of labs of them trying to having grasp of controlling that kind of essence oil for the lemongrass and all those kind of experimental spaces for them. And here's the kind of planter deck and all for them to get their experiences of. So here's another kind of public ingress as well, because they can actually get in to have that kind of experiencing from the strangers, but this one is just for private. So this one's another space they have to walk up. This one is like 2.1 meters height. So this one is quite a kind of industrial kind of aesthetics for them. This one is actually a control for this kind of pipings, because the piping is getting from the river from here, so they get to irrigations for all these kind of plantations. So yeah, and it actually quite repeated for this for the rest of the building as well, like repeat because the same structures but it's just a different kind of plantations. So after this one you may see it's a void, but it's actually linked up to here, to this space, because this space is the biggest factory of them to actually produce this kind of essence oil of the agar wood, because the agar wood is quite hard. It's quite hard for them to extract all those kind of stuff, so it have to be that kind of manpowers, and those kind of equipments have to be right, and those kind of dimensions have to be right as well. So it will be this kind of big. This one, this scale is 1 to 50.